guys, welcome to Archetype Insights. Today, it's not so a great day for me. I'm sensing kind of a fear and pain a little bit. So I decided to create this video just in case if somebody can uh, take this video seriously and rescue me out from here. Um, because I feel like many things are complicated and it's hidden, and there's so much layers to a particular issue which I have been sensing from quite a long time, but it was always been with me. So I never revealed it out, and I always remained calm, silent, and kept things with me. Though I knew there's some disturbances, there's something which my father's soul wanted to highlight it, but I was not really paying attention towards it, or probably thought will be the right time, or when there will be the right time I'll take the action. So I think my mission to come here has been established already, and I'm at the last verge of my stay in this place, this home. um, there is a soul, there is an entity which have called me to investigate this issue before things goes really worst. So I dedicate this video for my father, um, for his soul, and something which I wanted to reveal it today. So stay tuned for my outro. Yeah, stay tuned with me. Welcome guys, welcome back again. So this particular video is highlighted about situations which was really very close to me, things I don't want to express it, but it's like a pain, it's kind of like emotions which very closely attached to my life, to my heart. My dad was my love. My dad, whom I cared like a baby, was everything for me. From the very beginning, I seen my dad used to work really hard. The life he has lived was very unusually difficult life. Normally, children will get all the attention in the age, in a very young age, but in a very young age, at the age of 5 years, he started working in the child labor, and it was so many jobs he has done, but normally mostly it's like high skilled work, or probably you can say the labor's work. And when he came to Bombay, one of my uncle, the nearby uncle, my previous home, where it was like in a big bungalow, big duplex bungalow where we used to stay earlier, to this home. This is a very small hut home, but we used to stay in a very duplex bungalow, and a very big home with too many rooms, and upper floor. And my dad built that home for me because he loved, he knew that I like the archetype of a door, and I like the duplex floor, like which have a staircase and I can go up there. And I love the entire view of sitting from the top and watching down, and have a big lawn and everything. So by grace of God, I've been blessed with that beautiful home, which my dad built with a lot of effort, a lot of work. But in the journey of him, I always decided to write a book on his life, because it's a life which is very close to my heart, and I feel it's a precious diamond. His life, his heart, he himself was a precious diamond to me. So I always used to cherish it inside in my heart. I remember when I was small, around say 4 years. I remember my dad used to take me to this lady's home, and she happened to stay in Nariman Point, which is very close to the Marine Drive, and the Pali and Malabar Hill. It's closest to somewhere that location, and it's a very beautiful place. Like from the place where she belonged to, there was like sea waves, can be seen, and there's a nice breeze which flows from directly from the sea. And she got this beautiful apartment which is made of full of wood, like everything was wooden. So the exact replica was my dad wanted to build in his apartment back in Mumbai. So in our Mumbai apartment, it's like everything was made of wood. The wall was made of wooden wall, little bit of wall, and then showcases of wood, and even the couch, even the bed was of wood, and the door of wood. The mirrors were made of the wooden door. Inside that there was a mirror. So it's like everything was wooden. Even we had this window pane, a long window pane, which was completely made of wood. So everything, whatever he done exactly how that lady's home looked like. But she was very rich, and she was I remember she was not an Indian. She was someone from UK, from Europe, and in more or less I could sense her skin color. I can remember only that much. She got a skin color which was Caucasianist, like a Brit, and she was a British lady. I'm not really sure her nationality, but she was a British lady because she was speaking wholly in English. But she got like a Indian heart. She was very empathetic towards Indian people. She was very nurturing, caring, and my dad used to work for Tata Motors. So she was the managing director or someone on the higher level of Tata Motors. So I remember when I was around say 4 years old or something. So he took me to this lady's home, and she was writing down a paper on on a table, and it was like a beautiful black color, black glossed table. And she was writing down this, scribbling something on the paper. It was like a lot of papers spread across on that table, and she was signing it, writing it, and signing many things and documents. And she looked at me, and my daddy introduced me to her by saying, "That's my baby." And he always used to represent me in front of his colleagues, or my uncle, auntie, or even anybody, entering to our home as my baby, my baby. So he always nurtured me like a princess, and I do have got a very childhood dream of having these Barbie dolls, and a little kitchen, and little cooking boxes, and this cylinder and gas and all that stuff, things and everything. I was so fond of Barbie dolls. I was so fond of, like, making the comb of the Barbie dolls, and even a lot of makeovers. So I remember when we had this television, TV, and everybody was appearing in black and white. There was no color TV at that point in time. So it was only on black and white, and only few places we can see a color television. So I could see a lady in the news channel. Lady always come in the dark black lipstick, and I made a point that I want to get that lipstick. And I was like started crying to my dad, like, I want to get that black lipstick. So every time he go for work, he asked me, what should I get for you tonight? And I was like, I want that black lipstick that lady I saw in the television, exactly like that. So he said, okay, okay, fine. And I remember my uncle used to tell me how much your dad loved you, because after the whole day's work, he met my uncle and went to uncle's home and did all kind of negotiation or something like that, a little bit of talk and everything. And he used to be having a very compassionate heart. He got this big heart to care for other people, to help other people. Like, I've been brought up in this home wherein I got this big, huge family type, a lot of cousins. None of them are useful, but stupid people. I really don't like them. But huge members, okay, and it's all are belonging to my mom's side, like my maternal side. From my paternal, it's only my granny and one uncle who belongs to Shillong, but I never seen him. I do know he exists somewhere in Shillong. Uh, so that was it. That's the only relationship I know from the paternal side, but from the maternal family is really huge, and all of them are like for behind my dad for getting things done, getting things met. For job, for work, for money, for ornaments, for gold and everything. Even they go behind my mom to get them some ornaments to wear, get them some clothes to give, for their ceremonies or anything as such. As if they do have it, but they always creep and crave from my mom. And my mom is like, okay, because she nurtured these children, so she's like, okay, give it. But my dad was like, he don't know the nature of these people, but he cannot take any action. And he always did a part of like being a good gentleman, being very understanding, being very concerned for everyone, very very patient. Like he hold a lot of patience with him, and he never shows off that, oh, you are staying in my home, so please get rid of my home or something like that. He always made it a point like, let them be there, let them have their food, supper, whatever. When they feel comfortable, let them walk away. So he never shown that aggressive side, always being very patientful. Yes, of course, he was very aggressive in the workplace with the workers and to get the work done, but at home he's very, very silent. In fact, he was the one when he comes home, he get us a juice, a glass of a juice always. He used to bring a lot of fresh fruits and make juices. And he know my favorite thing, like always get me a 1 cup of an ice cream. I always miss his ice cream. And I remember, like, when that lady looked at me, she said that, girl, you should always study, you should always study higher and higher and higher and never end the studies. And I said yes. And I don't know why I felt like as if I kind of like connect with her very well. And there was one client, who used to visit from Tata Motors in our home. And this client, had been very close friend to my dad, and he understands my dad's emotional state. Whatever he wanted to express, he opened up with my client. And the client looked very gentleman, very good looking, and with a fair complexion. So when he approached to me, he took me to the bedroom and he said, he holded my hand and said, like, he looked into my eyes as if he wanted to say something very, very seriously. And he said that you should study psychology, okay? You should read the people's mind, understand them. So, as if he wanted to say that you're very emotionally attached to your mother or the people around, but that's not the fact. As if my dad was supposedly feeling like a loss, kind of like I will be not with him, rather, I will be with my mom, because my mom got so many people, and my dad never felt the care and the attention from my siblings. So for him, the only person left was me, and he doesn't know that how much I love him. Because every time he's late, Bombay life was a rush hour like life. A city never sleeps. Like even in the midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, from the window you can see some or the other person walking down the street after the work, and the morning starts from 5:30 a.m. So it's like 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I can see the voice of the train, and I can wake up from the bed by saying, oh yeah, it's a morning hour. So it's like Bombay is full of rush and very hi-fi life, very crowded life, and life which is exhaust you, but the meantime it makes you feel this is life, man, this is the life I want to live for the rest, because it's like very city and keep moving, very fast driven life. Nobody has time for anyone. Here at least we have time to gossip about somebody or talk about someone, but there nobody cares. There was instances where there was a murder happened in the neighbor and nobody knew. Everybody was busy in their own world. After a couple of days, we come to know when there was a smell coming out from the neighborhood. We come to know, okay, there was a murder happened. So it's like nobody cares in Bombay. Everybody is busy in their own world. And my dad used to work really, really, very hard. So he gets up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. Always got the habit of cooking food. Early morning when he wakes up, he cooks food for everyone. Though my mom also does the work, but she's very lazy. Always she been very lazy. And she does it in her own pace, in her own time, whenever she wanted. She was highly domineering. And my dad used to like get up early morning, cook food or chapatis. Best was the chapati making and bhaji, and prepare everything. And then the rice and the other stuff, noon, lunch, everything being made by my mom. So morning he always makes some dishes for us and go away, go for job. And then when he comes back, it will be around say midnight, 11:30 or 12, closest to 12. So until he's not back home, everybody will be having their dinner. They will be watching the television. My brother is not even least bothered when he will be back. He just watches television. He does his work and everything. Sometimes they chit chat with everybody, and they go to go for sleep. But I cannot sleep until my dad is not back. So I always come to the window and keep my head on the window pane and keep watching when my dad is there. Can I see my dad? And from the distance far, I can see his approaching, and then I feel, wow, my dad is back. And there is this dairy shop next to our building, and this dairy shop never shuts down until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So they work really hard. And I remember even in the midnight when he comes back home, he gets me a scoop of ice cream, and he come home and give it to me. Okay, this is your ice cream. And I feel like, wow, I got my ice cream and my dad is back. And I always love his presence. And he got this habit of whenever he enters to the building area, he either cough or just make a voice which can be heard, to because our apartment used to be on the first floor, and he always cough so that I can hear his voice, and I feel like, wow, my dad is coming. And I'm so happy, so thrilled to be there for him. And that was a relationship I hold it. And this entire channel, I never thought I can be a YouTuber. I don't know, I was so addicted with tarot readings. um like I do remember, like every time I watch tarot, it somehow the other way it resonates my circumstances, my emotional state, the situationship I'm involved into. And many of the tarot readers in 2020 when I was in UAE, they said like you will be starting with your tarot someday and you get popularized and all blah blah. And I started, okay, fine, tarot readings, I will also start the tarot reading. But I don't know why I got my tarot book, I got my tarot cards but I just cannot read tarot. I don't know, something happens. Either I go to sleep or I just read it, and I cannot even understand. Like, I'm more into psychic observation, I'm more into psychology, more into scientific understanding of human behavior, emotions, or what happens when this all these things. Spiritual world I don't want to attach to much, because spiritualism, to it's like, to a great extent it will impact you, some or the other way. It impacts your life, and it hurts some entities, and sometimes it becomes very difficult for me to get out from that, you know worst entity or worst energy forces. And I'm very spiritual. Yes, I go to church, I listen to a lot of mantras, and I worship God. I also worship Allah. But I don't discriminate between any religion. I see um, the good part of the religion, that is the beauty of the God. God is always beautiful, God is always divine, God is always light, and life, full of life. So I always see the good part of it, never seen the worst part of any religion. Because the people make that religion complicated and worse. I just wanted to hang in there. um, okay, so he was like somewhere far away, as if I could see a universe, and then like galaxies, like, something, a wave, like a stars, and it's kind of like a wave flowing and a lot of lights across, and I could see his face inside in the arc, and his eyes was like white in color, and that actually changed the color to to a black eyes, so it's like, his color of eyes was absolutely white, and suddenly it changes to white, it changes to black, and he was giving the smile, and after that he was showing me the hand to hold my hand. The palm, I could see his palm very clearly. It was absolutely fair, like a spirit. And he was showing me, just come up, you know. So I don't know, maybe I wanted to go there, or maybe it's my time to say sayonara to everyone upon the earth. I don't mind to die, but it's something, it's very, very complicated here. Something in the food, guys. I have to say that something there in the food. Um, Yesterday I consumed the food which I have cooked from my end, but after I consume it, I don't know why I am not feeling good. Um, it's kind of like a pain into my chest area. Even today, when I had the food, again I'm feeling the same pain in my chest area. My bone is paining, and I don't know what has been done inside in the food, but I'm really, really, very, very scared now. I hope people are not trying to intoxicate me. um, I really need a help. I really want to get out of this home, this place, and these people, want to get rid of these people. I do know my dad was killed by poison, or maybe some kind of ritual practices. Um, because there was too many things revealed while on of his death. Like, I was in UAE, I was stuck in there in UAE. There was no flight to come back, and I was working very hard and difficult for me to get the visa from my employer at that point in time. And my employer played very badly onto me. not giving me the visa. And when they heard this news, my mental state was not very pleasant to work. At that point in time, I really need a help and assistance of the employer, and they actually tricked me asking money, additional money for the visa, wherein it is illegal work, or illegal to be considered as an entity asking for visa, money from the employee. And they persistently holded my visa, which they supposed to give it long back. They kept lying to me constantly. And then my flight was like there was no flights to come back to India. Everybody was stuck in there. um, and I do remember when I heard this news, I so wanted to come back, but then I don't want to even leave that country because the first time I'm going to UAE, and that was my dream come true. Like, working abroad always been my dream. I have started my career as a HR consultant working for a Middle East. So for me, those industries, those recruitment practices, everything was so fascinating to me. I so wanted to be in that country. And then all this goof up happened, and then I remember my sister called me up, when the dead body was there in the hall. And I was keep crying out looking to my dad. I always cared my dad like baby, because he was paralyzed patient for over 15 long years. He was suffering from paralysis, and he got a first brain hemorrhage when I was 21-year-old. And I was in Mumbai. And after that, the second brain hemorrhage when he came here. And then after that, he never got up from the bed. He was always there on the bed, and everything on the bed. And there was time when the doctors used to guide me how to take care of a man. And you have to be like a nurse, you have to be like a doctor. You have to care the patient. My mom cannot do everything, so I used to make his bath and care his body. um, Nobody wanted to see their dad to be in that state, what I have seen or gone through. And trust me, at times I used to become inhuman, with no emotions left in my senses, my heart. And I used to make his bath, put the powder on him, on his body, and just care him like a baby. And sometimes even the urine doesn't move out from the body, so I have to put the tube inside in his organ and remove the urine. So I was like gone completely out of my mind, that I don't know what to say. But I always worship that body like my mom, or like a god. That's the place. That was not just a body for me. It was given a very high importance, because a paralytic patient to be treated with lot of care, with lot of nurture. And anybody shouts on the paralytic patients, or they hit them or they hurt them, there is no mercy for those people, because those are God's you know um, patients. And you should always be very very good heartedly with them. So I've seen my mom used to lose her temper and hit him, or shout on him, abuse him. And I have to handle both of them, so I can understand what my mom's mental state is. Because in one hand she had to take care of my boy, and he was always with my mom. So, and on the other hand, she had to take care of my dad. And it was like unbelievable, like how much she have gone through it. So I understand now, she wanted to have her freedom. She don't want to take care of anyone. She wanted to have her own beautiful life. I can understand that. because it was not easy, guys. I'm like, we both, like me and my mom, have gone through a lot. Especially for me, was very very difficult journey, because in a very young age I have seen my dad got a first brain hemorrhage. And when I was in the hospital, my mom blamed everything onto me, like because of me he got his first stroke. And trust me, when he was in the ICU, I was like crying out loud to get my dad back in life. And he got it back. And I was very much worried that, when he go to the job, I cannot stay in the home. I was so patientful until he is returning back home. I used to cry. I used to pray to God, just make him all right, keep him safe from the crowd. The crowd in the Mumbai is so horrific, but he used to manage from everything. His body used to be very strong. He worked really hard. So out of all the situation he had come through, and then when he is lying on the bed, um, when he came here in Kerala, he got his second stroke. And during the second stroke, I was working in Mumbai with a very small earning as a consultant, and I was to manage the bill within that amount. And when I heard this news, my cousins called me up and said, like, please come down quickly. He is in ICU in the last stage. And I was like, what the hell? I left everything. I asked the excuse from my boss. I want to go and visit my dad. He's not well and all. And they allowed me to take a leave for a couple of weeks. And then I came back over here in Kerala. The first visit was to the hospital. When I entered to the hospital door, everybody was there. My huge family was waiting for getting the body from from the ambulance to the ward, to the ICU ward. And looking to this huge family, I got scared, man. Now what happens? um, I just was praying like he should be all right. And then my mom was crying and put all the blame onto me in front of everyone, that is, it's because of her my husband is in this stage. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what was happening. I seriously want to see my dad, and this is the situation what she has created. She always been very dramatic. Whatever happens, she puts the blame onto me. And I always been sentenced as a blame taker, as a toy onto whom they can put the blame. Guys, like, my head is paining. I don't know, something is not right in the food. I am sensing really, really things gonna go wrong with my health now. Uh, I'm just praying somebody rescue me from this situation. Um, and okay, so these are the situations, like, these are the family I have grown up with. My mom never lied to me at all. She always behaved like a stepmother, like, I am being like always been a neglectful child. But on the contrary, I always always question, how can it be possible, like, I born in her, and why she hates me so much. Am I ugly? That's the reason why she hates me. Like, my siblings are also not that good looking, but why she hates me then, and I always scare her, always make possible that, she gets her smile back, and she's all right, she's normal, this and that. And I always make it a point, like my dad, I got a heart to take care of her. So, like, my dad never faulted from anything. Whatever she demands, he's ready with it. If she wanted a gold, my dad used to get her the gold. If she wanted a big home, my dad used to get her the big home. She wanted this stuff. There are a lot of cupboard full of clothes, two wardrobe of clothes for her, and he gets everything for her. But I never understood then why she hated him, and if so, then why she's hating me. and she never hates my other two siblings, but she hates me to the most. And her behavior was similar to my granny, to my dad, towards me, in the same fashion, always. And we all three have suffered like anything. My granny was dead. My dad, I don't know what happened to him. A paralytic person, like I just today, when I was sensing the pain, I complained to the cops, and there was an investigation happening here. So my neighbor was saying that your dad died because he was vomiting blood. And I was thinking how a man who's paralytic, a patient who's a paralytic patient, will vomit blood. It's nearly too impossible to understand, because one who got a brain stroke, or he got something severe in his intestine, can vomit the blood, but not to someone who is not obese. Even obesity can cause you to vomit blood to some extent. But this is not it. It was not a part of, like, he did not consume anything. He used to have little food because he was getting thin, and he is getting old, so he cannot consume much food. And in the last stages, I have seen him becoming very very meek, very very thin, and how that person can vomit blood. So today it was a very shocking revelation that he has vomited blood. And during the pandemic time, when my dad passed away, my sister called me up and suggested that, told me that there was a report of his health, that there is certain infection in the food has been found, or some infection due to food consumption been found in the blood. So I asked my mom, like, what did you give him? There was infection being found in the blood, and that's what the sister said. So she said, I gave him some kind of snacks to eat that might be having an expired date. Never knew it. So I thought, like, maybe she was not bothered of what that it is. I thought, like, she must have given something to eat without her acknowledgement. But now things are coming to a point of knowing her true nature, guys. My mom, I can sense many things about her. She's really dangerous. She always got this habit of doing something magic with the food. Like, I remember my brother's girlfriend. Like, he got a girlfriend long back before his marriage, and he was very participant in drama, class of art and everything, stage shows and all. And this girl had been belonging to that troupe families and all, and he got engaged with her. Engagement exchange was done, ring exchange was done, but the family was not happy. My dad was not very pleased to accept that marriage, but he said, like, it's his choice, so let him be, because he was nowhere in the professional life. And then what happened was, like, she was so irritated with this girl, so she decided to do something. And I remember my cousins have said that she went to some priest of the temple and asked for something to give in the food, and that's how that separation happened after the consumption of the food. So that's done in some kind of sweet, or you get it from the temple. So I don't know why people do such kind of a brutal act. But seriously, my leg is paining, my bones are paining, my heart is paining. I don't know what will happen with me, but I'm so scared. Today I'm filming this because if anybody out there is watching my channel, please comment and try to rescue me from this place, or any of my old people, old colleagues are watching it, just to request that don't hurt me more and don't play with my life. Or anybody is watching it, please stay away from me and don't guide my mom to do wrong thing onto me, because I never did anything wrong to anyone. I always been very sincere, very much caring towards everyone, including to everybody. I have a short temper, but that is subjective to understanding the situation, understanding what is going wrong with that person, and sometimes with my own complexes, but otherwise, no. I request you guys, please. Even I think the journey I took with YouTube, it's solely because from my father's request. I saw his spirit coming into my dream or into my vision and saying, you should talk, you should speak, and you should speak for me. And I wanted to hear you. I always wanted to hear your voice. So that's the only reason I started this channel. And I was wondering, what should I speak next, and many topics. Tarot, I really cannot read tarot. So the only thing is to express whatever the feelings I have. I do know some things which you have to keep it more confidential, but I think something gonna go wrong with my health. I'm so worried that either they are poisoning me, or they're intoxicating me, or they are trying to do really harm to make me look not good. I don't know what will happen. In this place there is no God, and I keep praying. There is some psychic things which is telling me, talk out loud. I'm not worried from anybody. I'm not worried from death. I can accept death with grace, but I think I have not even lived my life completely. So I deserve to see at least one sunshine in my life. After all what I have gone through, after a great loss of relationships and my loved one, I'm just requesting and hoping God to save me from this place as earliest as possible. Thank you. My love to my dad is always there, and I will be honored to go back to him as soon as possible, because I think we had this beautiful journey we always taken together. The memories of me and my dad was so beautiful, so auspicious, and so much cherishing. Every moment was like beautiful. Even my school friends used to like my dad, and they always used to come home. We used to share food together. My dad used to sit along with them and share the food, and they love his cooking style and his recipes, and they used to say, your dad is so sweet. And I always remember he got a sweet smile just like me, and he shies away when my friends compliment about his cooking style, and he always treated everyone very fairly. And I remember every time we come from Mumbai to Kerala just for a week's time to stay on vacation, my dad used to give me the gifts of books. So whenever we travel through the train, he, he always make it a point that he gave me some gifts or make me to enjoy the journey together. So I was so thrilled every time we come along with each other, we travel with each other. I'm so thrilled, with him. So when the station and it stops, so there's like some, stalls where there's books, books are being selling by the sellers, and so when there's like, so many toys or some snacks or happening on the platform, he sees my interest and he's like, you do want the book? So I was like, yeah. So he's like, just go and buy it. So I just, get some book of my favorite novels or any favorite writer. My first ever book was of Sidney Sheldon novel. I really loved his novel. I treat him as my idol, as my real, idol, angel who got me this beautiful concept about psychology and psychological thrillers or books. And I love his book, and I love his stories. It's so amazing, it's so thrilling, and very psycho-frictional stories which really inspires you to know big terms of psychology. From that book on, I started getting this inspiration and love towards reading psychology and getting along with psychological words and terminologies. So I really love it, and he always gave me some or the other gifts, and which is my favorite thing. And he knows I'm a very silent girl. I don't demand much, so whatever I demand, it's like only to the extent of what I wanted, and he's very happy to see that. So the journey we took together is always beautiful. He always taught me to worship, to light lamp, or the religious way, light lamp, and always pray to God before you start for the day, and always take the blessing from your elders when you leave your home. So these are the good culture what I have learned from my dad. And I remember the next room belongs to my dad, and whenever I go there, I see his picture. I feel so contentful, as if I got my world. Trust me, without him, my world is incomplete. Trust me, without him, I don't feel I belong anywhere. I keep searching for my partner, my soulmates, or the next relationship, but nothing compares to him. I don't know why. Everybody comes, they take something and go away. But my dad is always there to love me and give me, and heaven come true. So I can see in him my beautiful heaven, my beautiful archetype heaven. So this channel, the Archetype, is totally dedicated to my Acha, to my sweet Papa, wherever you are. I love you. I miss you. And I know the truth will come out one day. And it's a testing time for me to go through the similar experiences what my dad is going through or must have gone through. And now I understand what is that pain all about. And if I have to reach you there, I will be most honored to reach you, because I can see my beautiful light and beautiful heaven in you. And this world is really not my place to live in. So I really want to be with you. I miss you so much. I think, uh, I think my journey to this place is completed, to your home is completed. This home has your presence. I can feel it in your room, and I do want to investigate what happened when I was not there, because if I would have been there, nothing would have happened to you. Something we left to speak, because I know the last time I I saw you, you want to speak out something, but I couldn't give you the time. And you've been next to my room, but I never visited you in that room. My pardon, because I could not see you, smelling bad or being in that state. What I never, when I was changing, I wanted to stay away from a lot of chaos and uh, complications, because at time I have cared you, so I wanted to develop in my life, so I become a little selfish and I stopped visiting your room because it was smelling, it was always dirty, and I do remember that you did not like it, but you were being really helpless, and I do know you talk really nice. You got this silent way to express your emotion, and I do know that you wanted to hear me too, but equally was the pain what I have experienced in the life, taking care of two home people, relations, finances, situations, career, complexes of job, competition, everything. I just so came to relax in the home, and so that's the reason I just stayed away, and that there was time that you want to see me. I was next to your room and I couldn't visit you. My selfishness, and today I always miss your presence in that room. And today I wanted to see you, I wanted to talk to you, but you're not there. And whatever um, I am going through with these situations and people and places and complexes, what I'm facing, if you would have been there, I wouldn't have faced all this. And you protected me in your heart, and I miss that protection. I miss my beautiful heart. Your heart was so very beautiful. So don't know what will happen with me, but I just hope at least the truth should reveal once. So I'm so sorry I have to, express. I don't know. The tears just rolls out. It's nothing for me, but I'm yes, of course, I'm worried for my life because I so wanted to live uh, a new life, a new world. I wanted to see but equally the pain is so severe that I'm so worried, and I don't want to trust my mom now. I don't want to trust the food what I'm eating here. God knows what I should do. I want to walk away, but I don't know how to do that. Let's see, guys. So until the next insight, hopefully if I'm alright, we'll come back soon. Okay, so stay tuned in there and just give me your grace. Really need your grace and prayers to rescue me out from this place and these people. I should be alright. Sure.